Welcome to the Angus Report, a news program for cattle producers.
The week's top headlines from American Angus Association headquarters include preparations for breeding season.
We discuss a Carcass data project and a longer-term outlook for Angus cattle sales.
There's progress on the lesser prairie chicken debate, and we look at an increase in premiums paid for cattle that qualify for the certified Angus beef brand.
This is the Angus Report. Hello, I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
Our top news this week. As producers make preparations for breeding season, it's important to assess bull soundness. According to beef cattle specialists, the best way to do that is through breeding soundness exams on herd sires to measure physical readiness for breeding and to ensure the bull is fertile to achieve positive conception rates.
They're going to check for three things. They're going to look, feet, the actual structural soundness of that animal, and then they're going to do an internal exam of that animal, and they're actually going to take a semen test. When you're talking about a cost of probably at max $50 a bull, spread that out over, if he's covering 30 cows, we're less than $2 a cow for that insurance of making sure that bull is fertile enough to make sure that cow's bred. So in my mind, it's the best insurance that a producer can buy to guarantee that they have something on the ground to market at a later date.
The Kansas Angus Association hosts a Carcass data project designed for producers using registered Angus bulls who want to retain ownership and collect individual carcass data. Producers enter a minimum of 5 spring-born steers sired by a registered Angus bull in the project, which originated in the 1990s and is now conducted in partnership with certified Angus beef.
As time has progressed, programs have come about. It's easier to get individual carcass data back, but we still think in Kansas, at the Kansas Angus Association, there is a place for the Carcass data project with some breeders, whether you be a big breeder or a small breeder. Some of them choose to just market their cattle and not retain ownership in a feed yard. And as a group in the last few years, we've reached as high as 80 to 85% certified Angus beef acceptance. The demand for Angus bulls, especially within the last few years, has been phenomenal with prices and just the numbers that can be sold and generated through our state. And I think a lot of that is in direct correlation with certified Angus beef and why people are thinking that they need to use Angus bulls and why it's proven that Angus bulls are good for all cattlemen and for the commercial industry.
Visit the Kansas Angus Association online or cabpartners.com to learn more about the Carcass Data Project and winners.
Despite overall dry conditions in the West, cattlemen are finding ways to adjust, and those raising Angus cattle have a few more options when it comes to profitability. Daryl Hansen of the California Angus Association discusses the outlook for Angus through the summer and into fall.
Especially on the West Coast, there is a high demand for Angus bulls in terms of range bulls and herd bulls to get turned out with commercial cows. And with the market being what it is today at an all-time high in terms of dollars being made by commercial cattlemen, it's a great opportunity in California to make that connection and put purebred Angus seed stock producers in touch with commercial cattlemen. We've had a very, very dry winter, one of the driest on record. It is going to be a challenge to balance how many cows you can run and buying hay, and that may affect the market a little bit, but right now the cattle prices are so high we don't anticipate there being too much of a problem. We're hoping that we get a few late rains this spring that get us through summer, and then maybe if we get a few early rains in the fall, that will kind of get people back in a good mood and decide they need to buy an Angus bull.
The federal government announced in early May that landowners who implement specific management practices intended to protect and increase lesser prairie chicken populations under the Conservation Reserve Program will not be subject to additional regulations due to the listing of the bird as threatened under the Endangered Species Act. That listing went into effect May 12th, and the lesser prairie chicken is now officially considered a threatened species, a move that has met resistance throughout affected areas, including Colorado, Kansas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas. The USDA encourages current and prospective CRP participants to consult their local Farm Service Agency and NRCS offices in developing compliance plans.
The USDA released its World Agricultural Supply and Demand Estimates report earlier this month, and corn projections are at record levels. And that's good news for those in the livestock industry who anticipate seeing corn at reduced prices, given the positive supply outlook. U.S. feed grain supplies for 2014-2015 are projected at a record 403.3 million tons, up 2% from 2013-2014. Corn production is projected at 13.9 billion bushels, up slightly from last season's record, with higher expected yields more than offsetting the year-to-year reduction in planted area. USDA reports feed and residual use is projected at 50 million bushels lower, with animal numbers down this year. Visit USDA.gov to read the complete report.
We go now to Jen McCrell with a look at news you need to know this week in the Angus business.
Thanks, Crystal. The month of May is a significant one in the Angus business. It was in May of 1873 that George Grant brought the first Angus bulls from Scotland to the middle of the Kansas prairie. Grant dreamed of establishing a colony of wealthy, stock-raising English settlers, and they landed on about 100,000 acres near what is now Victoria, Kansas. Unfortunately, Grant died about 5 years later, and many of the settlers returned home. But those first 4 Angus bulls have certainly made a lasting impact on the U.S. cattle business. The American Angus Association announces 3 new roles at its headquarters in St. Joseph, Missouri. Chris Stallo, formerly of the Information Systems Department, will now lead the association's membership operations as the Vice President for Operations. Jacqueline Upperman, who started her career as the Junior Activities Director, has expanded her role to include both youth and adult programs as the Director of Events and Education. And Ashley Mitchell now serves as the Assistant Director of Events and Education, dedicated to organizing and implementing nationwide programs and activities. And that's what you need to know this week in the Angus business.
Visit Angus.org to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.
Join the team, the Beef Quality Assurance Team. Getting BQA certified shows you're committed to practices that produce the highest quality beef in the world. And by visiting BQA.org, you can take the online certification course at a time that fits your schedule and from the comfort of your home or office. You'll also find lots of helpful tips on improving animal health and animal handling practices. Get certified, BQA certified, because it's about doing the right thing. Visit BQA.org today and become a member of the BQA team.
Its arrival is as routine as the truck that brings the next load of calves. You stand ready, waiting, watching for symptoms. A revolutionary new weapon in hand. Unique chemistry and hard-hitting active ingredient. Longer duration in the respiratory tract. Rapid absorption. Join the Zaprevolution. Zaprevo, Tilda Pearson. See your veterinarian.
Your herd is your business, your livelihood, your legacy. Every decision is important, especially those that impact future generations. HD50K for Angus from Zoetis helps you make decisions sooner with accuracy and confidence. With Zoetis HD50K, you'll have the most accurate predictions possible for young bulls and heifers with limited or no progeny, because the decisions you make today directly impact your herd tomorrow. To learn more, visit zoetisus.com/genetics.
It's more than a symbol. It's volunteer beef and dairy producers like you making careful decisions on how to invest your beef checkoff dollars. It's about multiplying those dollars to ensure the beef you produce makes its way to more meat cases, menus, and kitchen tables from New York to Tokyo. And it's about making sure those who influence our consumers feel confident about recommending beef. It's more than a symbol. Get to know your checkoff and start sharing your views at mybeefcheckoff.com.
You load them up, you head them out, you load them off again. Showing is tough, but it's everything in between that knocks livestock off their appetite. Get them ready for the show ring with the industry's leading 1-2 punch, Sure Champ and VitaCharge. Fortified with Amifirm, Sure Champ contains the right balance of minerals and vitamins to maintain a strong, steady appetite, to keep your livestock looking and feeling their best. And VitaCharge stimulates appetite after those long road trips or times of stress and gets your livestock back on track. Sure Champ and VitaCharge. More wins, more appetite. Learn more at surechamp.com.
Working your cattle just got easier. Introducing the new VetGun delivery system, a new way to apply topical insecticides to your cattle. The VetGun lets you remotely treat cattle with effective parasite control, so you can do it from an ATV, on horseback, or just walking among the herd. It's that simple. The proven topical insecticide AML VetCap is used with the VetGun. It works fast to control horn flies and lice while minimizing stress on your cattle. Fast, easy, effective. VetGun. Check with your animal health supplier for availability.
44 Farms is your trusted source for Angus genetics. 44 Farms is a fully integrated Angus business that brings you quality from the pasture to the plate. And thank you to all of our customers for making this spring sales season our best ever. We are humbled by your confidence in 44 Genetics. Balanced trait genetics, a passion for customer service, and a common sense approach to the seed stock business are all things you can expect when doing business with 44 Farms. Our gate is always open at 44 Farms. Call or stop by our headquarters in Cameron, Texas anytime. We'd love to show you around. Look for us at 44farms.com and 44steaks.com.
Horn flies cost cattle producers nearly $1 billion a year. They interrupt grazing, cause loss of blood, and impact your bottom line. By incorporating Alticid IGR into your supplement program, you can prevent the emergence of adult horn flies. Alticid IGR will significantly reduce stress on your cattle. For pennies a day, you can control the most costly parasite and increase your profitability. Contact your feed supplier to incorporate Alticid IGR today.
Schiefelbein Farms is all about producing maximum dollar for our customers. Our powerful customer buyback program and top industry genetics ensures that Schiefelbein sired calves earn top dollar, backed by the Schiefelbein name and Zoetis HD50K technology. Learn more at schiefelbeinfarms.com. Schiefelbein Farms, changing the way seed stock business gets done.
Did you know the first Angus calves were sold in Kansas City? Kansas City is where it all began for the Angus breed, and it's where the Angus business will set the course for the future. Join us for the first ever Angus Means Business National Convention and Trade Show, November 4th through 6th in Kansas City, Missouri. The event includes an industry-leading trade show with 2 evening galas, workshops, and seminars for everyone in the beef business, plus the Angus University, sponsored by Merck Animal Health. Visit angus.org to learn more.